Hello and welcome back. This is Joanna the Medium. These are going to be readings for the month of December 2016, general readings, and they will apply to your sun, moon, and rising signs. I do have a bit of an announcement at the end of this intro, so if you want to fast forward, go ahead, but it is at the end of the intro, so don't miss it. December is a month of a lot of culminations. And though December is the last month of the year, so culminations and looking back is typically what we do. But there seems to be a lot of energies with most of the readings I've done for December 2016, where there seems to be a lot of looking back, a lot of contemplating, a lot of determining what to leave behind and what to take forward to the new year 2017. Of course, as always, I am so grateful for all of you, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, and for commenting. I read every single one of your comments. What I would suggest, if you would like to have a private session, please do not leave me a message on YouTube or comment on YouTube as to how to book a session or to book it, because I don't get to those messages in time, and oftentimes I will stumble upon a message from someone who wants to book, but weeks have passed by and I didn't even notice the message there. So if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you, and it's also on my website, which is fairly easy to do, very easy to do, and I'm including all that information for you down below. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else, and yes, so in January, aside from my regular general readings, I will be recording additional readings for purchase for minimal amount through Vimeo. It's something that I have been prompted to do for quite some time, but I've been sitting on it, and it's now time. With New Year, I'm being pushed really to do this. These will be either readings for the first 3 months of 2017 or for the first 6 months of 2017. So if I don't post them at the beginning of January together with my general readings, they will be posted slightly later. I may just not have enough time to record all of them to be posted at the same time, but they should be posted towards the middle of January at the latest. And I will post an additional video just to let you know that these are posted, and I will post all those links below as well for easy reach for you. And I think that's all I have. Of course, this is a Christmas season, holiday season. I wish you all the best. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate or not. I wish you safe and happy Christmas. And I look forward to seeing you in January. And without further ado, let's go to the readings. See you in a moment. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Capricorn for December 2016. Can you believe it's December? Okay, I have, as always, or as in the last little while, 3 cards face down. I don't know what they are. And I will start off with the message. The very first thing I hear is resistance. Resistance to what is because of what happened. Now, I'm going to unpack this. Resistance to move forward. For some of you, this is going to be relating to your health. And I don't know why I need to touch my throat. Some of you, maybe you are suffering from a cold. But for some of you, this is going to be something much substantial. That's something much deeper than just a cold. Anything that is signifying the use of throat or this voice box. This could be thyroid, this could be using your ability to speak, this could be asking for something you need or not asking, whatever it is affecting your ability to communicate effectively. Now, what about this resistance? He's saying to me that you are resisting to move forward because it is uncomfortable for you to change your ways. Now, for some of you, this is going to be regarding food. And But I'm telling you, the food and food choices, okay? Now, I'm asking, what is this about? I hear the words anti-inflammatory, okay? So this is for those of you who are dealing with any kind of inflammation in your body or any kind of dis-ease that is based in inflammation. Whether it is to do with food intolerances, as in gluten intolerances, or other substances that are causing inflammation, milk or anything of that sort. They're saying to me that your body needs a break. It needs the break of the constant barrage it has been under for quite some time. Now, I am being shown that for some of you, this is regarding alcohol. If you are someone who likes to have a drink or two or three or four, I'm being shown that you need time out. Okay, aside from the fact that it's not good for you mentally and emotionally speaking, it is also something that seems to be creating a inflammatory response in your digestive system. Now, please keep in mind, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, even though this is a passion of mine. I obviously don't take this as a sign of me diagnosing anything, but just listen to what's being said and assess if this is something that resonates with you and proceed further. Now, the reason why I'm saying this piece is because he says there is a resistance. Whoever you are resisting. So for some of you, it's to do with food. For some of you, it's to do with unhealthy vices and also unhealthy behaviors. I also hear the word gambling. For some of you, you are not only gambling perhaps with money, but he's saying to me, you're gambling with your life. So if you are using substances, or if you know someone who is using and abusing substances, and I see this as popping pills, not vitamins, but pills, you are being urged to pay attention to what your body is telling you and how you feel. For some of you, you keep popping antacids, as in Pepto-Bismol or whatever antacids are. I don't take them. And you are way overdoing it, okay? And what is being asked of you is, rather than pumping yourself full of pills you don't need, maybe look at the cause of why you need those pills to begin with. And again, he's showing me the word food. So I find that this is very interesting, considering that this is a reading for the month of December, which is filled for most of us, or many of us, with opportunities to eat and overindulge. And I'm saying, okay, so why now? And he says, it's precisely why. So this may not be the best time to go on a diet. Trust me, I know. But this may be a time for you to at least consider your health and benefits of being healthy versus your food choices. So I'll be honest with you, in the last year that I've done messages, the food component and choices has not been pounded at me as it is right now. So whoever you are, I am going to trust food and alcohol and drugs. I'm going to trust that you know exactly what this is regarding, and that you will take note of it as you see fit. He's also saying to me that the benefits of changing your outlook on the way you use food and other things far outweigh the benefits of the way you use food now. In other words, transition may be challenging, but the benefits way outweigh the challenges you will be facing. Now, I keep hearing the word inflammatory, okay? For some of you, you may need to be taking something that is anti-inflammatory, whether it's prescription, whether it's health, food, whether it's herbs, whatever it is, something that's for inflammation or anti-inflammatory is being underlined over and over and over. For some of you, I am seeing you drinking red wine, in particular red wine for some reason. And I'm sure it could be both, but he's showing me red wine. And he's saying to me it's causing a reaction, an allergic reaction. And maybe this is being brought forward because you enjoy your wine, but you're not feeling great and you're wondering why, and maybe this can give you a clue of what that is. But what he's saying to me, interestingly enough, and again, wine, we're entering the holiday season, there's going to be more of it. But what he's saying to me, it's not so much the wine as in grapes, juice. It is more the chemicals that are used in producing wine, and more specifically, the word is nitrates. I guess nitrates are used for winemaking, and you're being asked to pay attention. Now, let me just see if there is anything else. Okay, he's taking me back to my throat. For some of you, you seem to be dealing with some kind of a health condition, but you seem to be running into a wall. In other words, you're constantly looking, you're going to doctors, but nobody seems to be able to find anything. And you're being urged to ask the right questions. And then I'm seeing someone researching on their own and taking information, asking that information to your doctor. So maybe you're dealing with a condition that is based on inflammation, and maybe you're going to doctors and nobody seems to know what the problem is or how to deal with it. You're being asked and urged to ask the right question, but you're also being urged to research on your own in order to come up with the right questions to ask your doctor. Now, I will never be the one to say, undermine your doctor. This is not what it's about. But sometimes, in order for us to have a more holistic approach to health, we may need to ask some questions that the traditional professionals are not, versed in. And that's okay. But as long as, if you ask the question and then you get the answer, then you know how to proceed accordingly, depending on what the answer is. So, in a nutshell, what's being said here is, take your health in your own hands and don't be passive about what's going on. In other words, don't be just a passenger and, let things go on and let other people decide what to do with you, for you, or what not to do. Take charge of your health. So for some of you, you need to be going and asking the right questions of your doctors, or maybe looking for different doctors or professionals. And for some of you, it's come to a point where your body is speaking to you and you are not paying attention. And the word inflammation is being shown as a possible clue to you looking into your health. Okay? And before it gets any more convoluted, I think that's how I'm going to end this particular piece. Now, as far as cards, the first card pertaining to your past, we have the card called the Waiting Game. This is Two of Wands. If you look at this card this way, it's pretty self-explanatory. But in this position, it's something entirely different. And this is pertaining to your past. And I also ask, what is this about? And I hear the word work. Okay? So in the last little while, you had to make some decisions regarding to your work. However, what I'm being shown is that those decisions either didn't pan out, or you had to put a hold on it or a stop to it. And when I'm asking what it is, he's saying to me, the time wasn't right, which would be indicative if the card was in upright position. Why is this important for you to know? Let me just look at this other card here. And we have the card New Beginning. Okay, so this is Major Arcana, New Beginning. That's the Fool in a traditional tarot deck. In this position, it signifies you are ready to begin new. In this position, it basically says the time is not right. So the new beginnings that you are looking for, it's not time yet. Okay, now, remember I said that you had to make some decisions around work or career, but then you had to put a stop to it. Basically, this is saying it's not the right time. It's not the right time for change. Now, for some of you, I hear the words, your car needs to be fixed. So this is completely unrelated. But for whatever reason, somehow this needs to be said to you. And maybe you're thinking of, or maybe you are thinking of quitting a job and look for something else down the road. And they're saying right now is not the best time. And for some of you, it's because there are some expenses that are going to be coming up and your car needs to be fixed and you need to have your income. Okay. And if your car is the major mode of transportation because for whatever reason, other things are not accessible, then that may change your view on letting go of a job if that's in fact what you're looking to do or what you are looking to do. I also hear spring will be much more beneficial for you to look at a career change. So it's interesting because the first message was about health. And now it's about career. So two different things. Perhaps for some of you, your health is connected to your career. Maybe you have a very stressful job and maybe your inflammation is caused by stress, because stress does cause inflammation in the body. It absolutely can. So for some of you, those things may tie together. However, if that's the case for you, there's other ways of handling your stress or your health other than quitting your job right now. And this is about right now. This is not about you not doing something different and better. This is just about the timing not being the great timing. Maybe because it's holiday season and the bills tend to stack up higher around Christmas or holiday. That could be it. Maybe you'll have more expenses because of presents. I don't know what it is, but they're saying the time is not right. Spring, and particularly March, April. I'm going to go between March to May. March, April, May. But April seems to be highlighted here. There is going to be a possibility for a significant change coming up with regards to a new career or a new job or a new project that will allow you to do a switch, and it will be tied financially. So that's what's happening right now. Whatever you're contemplating on doing when it comes to a career or job, this is not the right time. Now, I always say, if you are in a situation where you absolutely have to leave, well, obviously you have to do what you have to do. But intuitively, if this message makes sense to you, you will know. Okay? Sometimes we want to make hasty decisions, but we need to step back and either rethink or have someone say, hey, listen, have you thought of this or this? Because if you think of those two things, they may change a little bit how you proceed forward. Not that you will not proceed at all, but how you proceed. That's the importance here. So the next card, or the last card, is possible future. And I'm also going to look at it as a piece of advice. We have the card called base chakra. So this is the first chakra, which is an energy center at the bottom of our spine. It has to do with safety and security in the world. Interestingly enough, any kind of unbalances around first chakra will, for the most part in my experience, externalize themselves around issues with money. Okay, so if you are dealing with money problems, or if you are constantly fearful of your job, you may want to look at where this fear comes from. And I know what some of you are going to say, well, it comes from the fact that my job is not stable. Yes, that's the first layer. Go deeper and ask yourself, okay, why am I attracting a job that is not safe? What belief, what conditioning system do I have subconsciously that draws me, that attracts me to these jobs that always make me feel unsafe and I have challenges around money? Because I'm being shown that for some of you, you come from a background when you were young where your environment was in some way abusive. Okay? I hear shouting, I hear yelling, I hear physical commotion, people fighting. And for some of you, you grew up in that environment. And if that's the case, if you grew up in a chaotic environment, 9 times out of 10, you would have learned that the world around you is not safe. That's the first chakra right there. Okay? When we do not feel safe, because that's what was modeled for us, then we will have a tendency to not to have challenges around money, because money represents safety. So when we believe the world is unsafe, we will subconsciously repel money because money represents safety. So it directly contradicts the belief system. So a little bit deeper thinking here, but it is being signified or shown for a reason. Now, he's taking me back to our comments when the first message that came forward. For some of you, you might be using or abusing certain substances in order to numb what happened to you. You may not consciously think that's what you're doing, but it feels like subconsciously that is what you are suppressing. Okay? If you also hold a lot of anger or resentment, anger is an energy that has the ability to produce inflammation in the body. So look up anger and inflammation. And I'm going to stop there because I'm not overly versed on it, but there is absolutely a connection there. Okay? And I think that's how I want to leave it. Let me just see. No, he's asking me to take a card, a clarifying card. This is the second time this month. So that's actually quite interesting. Okay, show me the clarifying message. Oops. I have to pick that up because it's important. So what I asked for is to show me clarifying card pertaining to this. And this is what came out. Stand your ground. Okay? Notice the red here and the red here. Stand your ground. Pretty self-explanatory. When I ask what is the stand your ground about, I hear the words, you deserve better. So again, I'm going to go back to the work situation. Now this could pertain to relationships, but for whatever reason, I'm being asked to talk about work because it's connected to money. If, going back, you grew up in an environment where it was chaotic, you probably didn't grow up thinking very much of yourself, because chaos and feelings of unsafety are not congruent with feeling overly confident in who we are. It's just the way it is. If that's in fact the case, then you will more likely than not have a tendency to attract jobs and situations that would prove to you that you are not confident, and it will prove to you that world in fact is not safe. And what they're asking you to do is they're asking you to look at your conditioning, and they're asking you to finally stand your ground. In other words, allow yourself to admit to the fact that there might be a deeper reason why you are where you are. Not because you deserve it, but because deep inside, subconsciously, you do not believe you deserve more. Not logically, consciously, subconsciously. And again, I'm being taken back to when you were growing up. For those of you who this makes sense, ask yourself the question, when I was growing up, when I was young, did I feel safe? If the answer is no, this is the chakra that would have been affected, that is affected. And that's the first chakra that's all about safety and security. And you're being asked to put a stop to it. Okay? That's how I'm interpreting this card. And then again, I hear the words, you deserve more. So maybe you grew up believing you don't deserve more. Logically, that's not what we tell ourselves. Well, sometimes we do. Most of it is subconscious, and 90% of our behavior is subconsciously based. So 90% of how we behave stems from a belief system we don't even know we have consciously. So that's huge. You deserve better. That's the word I'm being asked to say. And they're connecting me this to actually the previous message about food. So I'm going to leave it at that because he's saying, let them connect the dots. I hope this was helpful. This was very much an interesting reading. I wish you a wonderful Christmas, yes, and holiday, any other holiday that you are celebrating. I wish you a wonderful month of December. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. I read all your comments, so if you feel inclined to comment how this connects to you, please do so. And remember, many things will not make sense to you until 3rd or end of December pertaining to this reading. That's how it seems to go. I wish you best of luck, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you in January. Bye.